Hello, dear UPSC aspirants. I am Akriti Kanchi, your mentor from Prep IAS, and I'm trying to help you read newspaper in UPSC relevant manner, right? And we have a lot of news. We cover news from essay point of view, from prelims point of view, from front page till the last page in the smallest time possible. Okay, so let's start with 15th April for front page newspaper. So Choksi arrested in Belgium amid India's push for extradition. Recently, India has been achieving some success in extradition treaties. This comes under GS paper 2 international relations and India's success in extradition treaties. A 26/11 Mumbai attack person who was there in USA, Rana, right? He has been extradited by USA. Now this is Mehul Choksi along with Nirav Modi, who are fugitive diamond businessmen in case by Punjab National Bank, right? This much is enough. Let's move to the next article. Very important article, news first time by state. Telangana government formalizes categorization of scheduled castes for granting separate quotas. So within scheduled castes, there are different castes within the scheduled caste. So dividing it amongst group 1, group 2, group 3, that's what Telangana has done. This comes under GS paper 2, government policies and intervention for development in various sectors. Okay, so recruitment to government jobs would forthwith be based on this categorization. Telangana is the first state to implement the classification of scheduled caste after the Supreme Court's landmark judgment last year, right? So Telangana has done this. Telangana Scheduled Caste Rationalization of Reservation Act 2025, categorization of scheduled caste into 3 groups, and it's the first state in the country to operationalize the classification of scheduled castes after Supreme Court's landmark judgment last year, right? Upholding the constitutionality. Supreme Court last year upholded the constitutionality of sub-classification of scheduled caste and scheduled tribe to grant separate quotas for the most marginalized group within these communities. So what used to happen? The quota that is given to scheduled caste or scheduled tribe, 1 or 2 tribes and caste has become more mobile and has started taking most of the benefits which is meant for such a large percentage of population. So to make sure that all the population is able to use it, they are creating 3 groups within the scheduled caste. Okay, group 1 with 1% reservation, group 2 with 9%, and group 3 with 5% reservation. The state government had announced its resolve to enhance the reservation for SCs further based on data obtained from the coming 2026 census. Let's move to the next article. UP government's zero poverty mission, which was brought last year, now named after Ambedkar, says UP CM. Okay, this comes again under GS paper 2, welfare schemes for vulnerable section by center and states. Leaders across the political spectrum in UP paid tribute to Dalit icon B.R. Ambedkar on his 134th birth anniversary, and Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath announced that zero poverty mission will be named after him. Okay, because he was the person who talked about vulnerables and who talked about people who are marginalized. Okay, so this initiative, whose pilot project was launched on Gandhi Jayanti, aims to lift all underprivileged individuals above the poverty line. So this scheme, zero poverty scheme, will be named after Ambedkar in the state of UP. Let's move to the next article. Okay, so this article is more important from essay point of view. History as battlefield, the perils of reversing the past. So he's talked about revisionist history. Okay, what is revisionist history and how it is harmful, and he has given certain examples of how. Firstly, he has explained what is revisionist history, and then he has given certain example where revisionist history has proven to be extremely harmful for the humanity, and at the end he has given a quote, okay, for unity of humanity. So this kind of pattern can be used in essay answer writing. Okay, so he's talking about when history becomes when history is being used by ideology and propaganda, it becomes a battleground for ideology rather than a source of reflection. It can fracture society and foster hatred. Okay, so history should be used as a lesson rather than using its conflict as a current conflict. Okay, so when history is weaponized in the form of revisionism with intent to restore a perceived lost glory or correct historical wrongs by reverting a status quo ante, it becomes a tool for division. Okay, such revisionist exercises are the roots of conflicts which has led to several wars. Okay, so revisionist history, what is revisionist history? It seeks to reinterpret the past to justify present day political agendas, often tied to nationalism, identity politics, or territorial claims. Okay, so it is using certain elements of history to justify today's propaganda, which should not be done. So several examples: the first crusade of first AD was launched ostensibly, sorry, 11th AD. 11th century was launched ostensibly to reclaim the Holy Land from Muslim rule. This was Christians versus Muslim fight, which led to lots of death. Again, during Renaissance period, the European wars of religion in the 16th and 17th century, such as 30 Years' War, further demonstrate the dangers of historical grievances being revived under the banner of religious or political legitimacy. This fight was between Protestant Reformation and Catholic dominance in Europe. Okay, so Catholic dominance wanted its rule and its way of living back, whereas Protestant Reformation wanted a new way of life. Similar thing has happened, the most infamous one in the Nazi Germany, where Adolf Hitler's ideology rested heavily on the nation of reclaiming the glory of Germans' past, humiliation of the treaty, correcting the humiliation of Treaty of Versailles, his rhetoric about the Aryan past, and or about Lebensraum, that is finding more space for German people and restoring German supremacy. We all know what it led to: Second World War, Holocaust. Partition of India in 1947 led to similar fights between Hindus and Muslims. Israel-Palestine fight which is happening even now is also rooted in history. In Eastern Europe right now, which happened 2-3 years back, Russia's invasion of Ukraine was partly justified by revisionist arguments of Russia. According to Russia, Ukraine was part of Russia and we should keep it, but instead of accepting the new reality. So the writer is quoting philosophers George Santayana quote, okay, those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it. But equally dangerous are those who remember the past only to relive it, seeking justice through reversal, not reconciliation. So we cannot find past by reversing what has happened, but reconciliation is important. Okay, the greatest service we can do to history is not to rewrite it, but to learn from it. We should learn from history rather than repeating what happened there, with humility and not hubris. Great, very good examples for essay. Let's go to the next article. So this new amendment is being brought in the RTI Act, in which debates are going on. Unnecessary change comes under GS paper 2, government policies and intervention. So Right to Information Act and use of RTI is very important for accountability. So the amendment to section 8 clause 1 subclause J of the act has been introduced in section 44 clause 3 of Digital Personal Data Protection Act 2023. As per the KS Puttaswamy, right to privacy is part of fundamental right, article 21 of the Constitution, and section 8 clause 1 subclause J of RTI Act allows government body to withhold information for privacy, but there is a safeguard that if public information officer or an appellate authority finds that there is a public interest in disclosing such information, it could still be available. So even if there is a problem of privacy, but that information can lead to benefit of public interest, the information can come out. But now it is being amended and they're removing the safeguard safeguard for transparency and information. So that is the debate going on. Okay, let's move to the next article. I will directly go. Yeah, so how is space flight safety ensured? So this comes under GS paper 3, which is about science and tech awareness in the field of space. Recently, Sunita Williams have come back, and this person has come. Sunita Williams along with Butch Wilmore has come back, okay, from International Space Station after 9 months. So that re-entry was a success of NASA, right? That is being talked about here. So the ISRO is currently placing tried and tested protocols in place as it prepares for its maiden human spaceflight mission Gaganyaan that we are trying to do. Well, Gaganyaan isn't expected to dock with any space station. They are not going to dock. The people who will go with Gaganyaan are not supposed to go in ISS, but they will be familiarized with such procedures. Okay, so that is what it is being talked about. That was a success. The recent safe return of Sunita Williams and Barry Wilmore after a 9-month stay in ISS is the importance of following safety protocols. Okay, so human space flight has 3 key phases. First is launch, second is orbiting around Earth, and second is coming back toward, that is re-entry. So the biggest problem is re-entry, okay? That is what they're talking about here. That in ISRO's Gaganyaan crew, which will transport humans, consists of a pair of interconnected modules. The crew module serves as the living quarters for the crew and passengers, if any, while the service module carries the fuel engine control system. Okay, so it will transport both humans and other things which will assist human life. The most challenging part of space flight, as I told, is re-entry. Orbiting the earth is like riding a bicycle. In order to keep from falling down, you need to keep moving forward. Okay, so these are certain data that you need to keep in mind. Let's move to the next article. So here this writer is using the name of a political thinker, Foucault. Okay, governmentality is a concept, is a keyword which as a UPSC aspirant you should know, though it is a concept in political science. How governmentality exacerbates the problem of farmers' stubble burning. So this concept, though coming from politics, can be used in essay and ethics also to make your answers interesting. So what is governmentality? It is a concept by French sociologist and philosopher Michel Foucault that refers to how institutions of power, in this case the government, which is an institution of power, rather than employing explicitly coercive measures, induces citizens to adopt self-policing or self-regulating behavior to govern themselves. Okay, so they implicitly they make us behave in a certain way. So in India also, like when government is giving MSP, so it is inducing a certain kind of behavior in farmers. So when you're giving MSP to certain products, certain kind of only grains like wheat and rice, so the farmers will grow only those grains. So implicitly you are giving a signal how you should behave. That is what governmentality is doing. So study shows that governmentality can also be counterproductive. The state's implicit directive to farmers to keep increasing grain output ends up promoting stubble burning. So it's like suboptimal behaviors like stubble burning among farmers within India's struggling agriculture marketing system. Okay, so all this this concept, governmentality, you can use in ethics and essay. Let's move to the next article. Yes, and yeah, so there is this small article, but very important. Myanmar missions. So Myanmar has gone through a very sad and unfortunate earthquake. Indian government was trying to send them some support and facilities to help those people. Okay, so that's why Indian Air Force, planes were going there to support and transfer relief materials. Okay, so Myanmar missions went as planned. IAF junks GPS spoofing claim. So GPS spoofing was done. So Indian Air Force's transport aircraft carrying relief material to earthquake-hit Myanmar faced GPS spoofing. What is GPS spoofing? GPS is Global Positioning System spoofing. So what is GPS spoofing? It can be considered to be a form of cyber attack. Okay, it's a cyber attack that includes generating false GPS signals to mislead an aircraft. Okay, so it can create wrong directions by creating a false GPS signal. The false signals result in misleading the navigation equipment, posing a significant risk to the aircraft. Okay, so that's why this NOTAM or notice to airmen is a notice filed with an aviation authority that seeks to alert pilots of an aircraft to potential hazards. So India sent the first consignment of relief materials to Myanmar in C-130J aircraft, and its pilot reported that the plane's GPS signal was tampered with when it was in Myanmar's airspace. So you should know what is GPS spoofing. That's from the next article. Will directly, yeah. So this Archaeological Survey of India seeks to shed new light on Dwarka through exploration. So this comes under GS Paper 1 Art and Culture. A 9-member team of Underwater Archaeology Wing of the Archaeological Survey of India has undertaken onshore and offshore expeditions at Dwarka and Bet Dwarka. Okay, India's Cultural History Archaeological Survey of India has undertaken this project during expeditions in Gujarat. Dwarka is an important place from historical, archaeological and cultural point of view. This nothing more information is useful for us here. Next article, again very important. Working group of task force set up by Supreme Court to identify causes of student suicide. Okay, so this mental health issues and student suicides in educational institutions are happening. Supreme Court has shown concern and has created a task force. This comes under GS paper 2, issues related to social sector like health sector. Here specific being mental health. This year even economic surveys highlighted the importance of mental health. Okay, so second meeting of National Task Force on the mental health concerns of students and Prevention of Suicides in Higher Educational Institution decided to form 3 working groups for looking after different tasks assigned to them. Okay, the Supreme Court, they have constituted this national task force under the chairman of ex-judges to discuss and deliberate on issues related to mental health concerns among students, the prevention of suicide in educational institutions, and to recommend preventive measures. So in questions of mental health, what steps being taken by government or judiciary, you can mention this step taken by judiciary. Let's move to the next article, the article on the science page. Yeah, so last article, last page of the day, not last article. Miniature laser grown onto silicon chip could revolutionize computing. Computing may be set for the next great breakout, with scientists growing lasers directly onto a standard silicon chip, making it easy to integrate with current manufacturing infrastructure. Information will be carried by photons instead of electrons. Okay, this comes under GS paper 3, awareness in the field of computers. Okay, so this photonic silicon chip is novel because it's the first demonstration of a fully monolithic laser diode on a silicon wafer. The team's process is also scalable and cost effective. So photons carry information faster with greater data capacity and lower energy losses than electrons. Okay, so this chip can be very, very useful for future. Okay, so you can read the highlighted part, which I'll share in the Telegram channel. Land holding farmers doing non-farming activities helps efficiency. Great point for GS paper 3, where farming is mentioned, doubling farmers income is an issue, employment is an issue. So the research is saying that when farmers are doing non-farming activities, their efficiency of farming also increases. How that is happening? Right, so that increases labor efficiency, that the research is saying. So impact of multiple job holding on farm labor use efficiency. So here we can see when farmers migrate to other places, either within their state or outside, they gain new knowledge about farming practices that they apply to their own farms when they return. Okay, so this movement outside for the another work give them exposure. Okay, farming is becoming riskier because of climatic shock. They're diversifying into non-farm activities like carpentry, etc. So how those in other states conduct their farming activities and the use of technology they are doing, this farmers get to know when they migrate. Okay, so even to start a business and even to make their farming a business, they need money, and farmers generally face credit constraints which they can earn money from by doing different kind of jobs. Okay, so that's it for 15th April. Thank you.